Both games. Laning phase-wise, early game, he was so good. And the Kassadin actually being banned away by Fnatic. A little bit surprised about that one, but they don't want to risk anything from C-Tie.
Well, Kassadin did get picked by Pekka yesterday. Yeah. Didn't work out. Didn't get to that stage where it was a big deal. This leaves Renekton open. I'm wondering if PDD is going to be jumping on that one. You see him on there on your screen, a beast that he is, and it is Renekton straight away.
So this means, though, Elise will be open. Sanad quickly going towards it because Lee Sin is banned away, Evelyn is banned away, so the top tier jungler left, Elise, of course. And Sanad, he loves to play it. Also, I really like this pickup of Lucian because we saw Kid yesterday on it. Yes, his team fights, he always stayed back in the start, and then once people dropped low, he just came in there, picked up kill after kill after kill on this Lucian. Now to take it away from him, put it onto Reckless, so I like that pick.
Well, against Fnatic, he ran Vayne, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, he did.
He was a beast on that one. So that's open along with the Thresh, which was used by Kitties, I believe, in that game. So a lot of opportunities for IG here. I'm wondering whether they're going to fall back to that Vayne or whether they're going to be looking maybe towards the Caitlyn or a Fiddlesticks jungle.
One thing we have to remember with Fiddlesticks is in 4.3 the fear changes, so now the targets will always run away from you and not just run around in circles. So I'm not too sure about Fiddle pick, that's also why they're going away from it. And Sivir, combined with something like a Renekton, when you start these team fights, you dive onto them, you have Renekton popping his ultimate into the face of the AD carry. It's very hard to deal with, so I like the pickup if they actually lock it in, they do. And this bottom lane as well, whenever they land a hook, followed by Boomerang Blade, and also you have a lot of utility to escape ganks.
Well, we'll see how this one progresses. They have locked in that Sivir and Thresh combo. And Fnatic, will they go for that mid laner early on? Will they first pick it? They'll be blind picking it into it, so which tells me I think they're going to leave it as long as possible. I do not expect the Zyra. We did see Yellow start playing a lot of it back in the summer, but did not work out at all yesterday for Elimination.
Well, so-and-so, he died. But
so-and-so?
The laning phase for them actually, they won.
Bad.
They won the laning phase. Zyra and Caitlyn, they actually won the laning phase. He had some pretty good ultimates when it came to setting up kills. But the combo they were against, he couldn't really lock multiple people up, and he also was the target for the tippers from Annie.
Did he have a single assist by the end of the game? I don't believe he did.
Oh yeah, he did.
He was 0-2-0 by the time I just went, I'm done. This game is over.
He definitely had some assist. The point is, laning-wise, he had a lot of poke with the Caitlyn, and they actually dominated Wei Xiao. No, that wasn't Wei Xiao, that was actually...
No.
TPA. Bebe instead.
Yeah. That was all High. High just dominated everything. He was fantastic. Shyvana Morgana, that has been what picked, and Morgana did work yesterday. Elimination worked very well with the Morgana pick yesterday.
He just landed binding after binding, and with the spell thief, you have so much poke in the laning phase because you put down your W onto them. It takes 40 stacks on it, so you get the extra magic damage, and also your auto attacks, of course, so that's so much poke. And W didn't know how to counter it. They just lost the laning phase to this Morgana. So let's see if Yellowstar can actually do the same.
Prediction time here. I'm going Ziggs for Peke, if this is what they lock in.
Ziggs or LeBlanc is also open against Nidalee to try and shut him down.
Never been impressed with Peke's LeBlanc, gotta be honest.
It's been kind of up and down, I agree on this one. He's been having some good games, but also some terrible games on it. So we will see if he actually decides to go with it.
And we thought yesterday, I mean, the Gragas is also open as a possibility. We thought yesterday, you could tell his confidence wasn't quite there in his plays.
Yeah, he had some opportunities to make plays where he just stayed back instead. He did have some good plays though on Gragas. In the end, actually his double kill on Millennium in the very last team fight was...
That ulti came up last second. It was like hammering that ARB key.
And that was the thing that won him the game actually. So we gotta highlight that of course, but looking just at his options here, Orianna actually very passive lane though.
No, I like to see Peke, along with Alexic, I like to see these guys on Assassins against a Nidalee and a Fiddlesticks in that jungle. Fiddlesticks we haven't seen for a long time in the jungle, certainly in the European scene. I think North America played it once, I believe.
Seen Crumbs played in the North American scene. I think Media's played it as well once, where Fiddlestick jungle...
Okay, that fits better.
Fiddlestick jungle, if you get to level 6, before you get counter-ganked or anything, you are very, very strong ganking-wise. Flash ultimate into the face of someone, you fear him, and you have a lot of damage. So it's very, very strong if you actually get your items, if you get your jungle going. But at least early on, if she finds Fiddlestick, like at level 4, level 5, she will kill him instantly.
Yeah, it will be a very squishy target for Cyanide to find. We'll see if he goes aggressive. What do we see overall from these two teams?
So from IG's side, we have this mixed combo of you have the poke from Nidalee, you have the disengage or engage potential from the likes of Sivir, and of course Fiddlesticks will actually be more or less the main engage to jump into the face, pick out a target, pop his Sonyas, and then the rest team can come in. But with Nidalee, they don't have too much dive on potential. It's more or less Renekton and the Sivir who has to go in with Fiddlesticks as diving in. And Fnatic side, They have split push with Shyvana, of course, who will outscale Renekton later on. You have Gragas to siege potential, you have the siege from Lucian, and of course you have the Dark Bindings from Morgana. Also, Black Shield against Fear. Very, very strong counter from Morgana's side. So when Fiddlesticks is jumping in, put the Black Shield onto Reckless, he won't be feared, and he can turn around and start killing the Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, I don't see the early dive pressure that I was expecting from IG. They like to get that ball, they snowball in game, and they like to just keep that pressure going. I don't see they're going to get it with this one, which I think puts them in hot water.
Well, Fiddlesticks can dive at level 6, especially in the lane with Renekton.
Yep.
If they push the lane up and like Source
it's surprise party Fiddlesticks as well. So
jumps into the face of him. There's little you can actually do to survive. But yeah, the Fiddlestick pick, it can be risky, especially against something like Elise, because if Cyanide is there when Fiddlestick is ganking, Cyanide will have the upper hand.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 of day 2 here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Will Invictus Gaming go through? They are as the blue team, and they are up against seemingly the crowd favorites that are Fnatic as the red team. This is a big, big start, and we are, of course, seeing that Doran's Ring beginning for the Fiddlesticks in the jungle.
Yeah, he doesn't really need the machete, and he doesn't need the 5 potions. It will, of course, if he decides to go Spectral Wraith, delay it a little bit, the fact he's starting Doran's Ring, but he's going to be stronger here in the early levels. He can use that to duel Elise in case he should be caught out. And looking then at supports, of course, Spell Thief onto Morgana, the thing we talked about. It's so easy to get your stacks off, so you get this additional damage and a gold just by putting down your Tormented Soul, your W, because it takes every half second. So it is instantly going, it takes onto the enemy team. There's a lot of harass early, and of course there's no sustain onto someone like Fresh.
Kid does see Yellow Star down that bottom lane. We did see some delayed invades yesterday, and we've seen a lot of switching of buffs. And of course Fnatic got caught out a little bit by Illusion last.
And let's see how Fnatic actually decides to handle his top lane, because Doran's Ring to Doran's Shield, clear advantage to Renekton just by being the fact he is Renekton. He will get outskilled, yes, but early on he's having all the pressure. He can push Source all the way down to his turret, and we need to see Fiddlestick want to come up early to dive, or maybe Cyanide want to come up and try and shut down the Renekton. We've seen it happen a few times, and if you get an early kill onto Shyvana, she will be such a beast later on.
I'm wondering whether is Fiddlestick's going to be a red buff start. Looks like it will be a red buff start for Fiddle. Wondering whether it was going to be a blue, because it looked like Fnatic really wanted to try and interrupt it. You can see they've got themselves into the tri-bush down the bottom. They know that this red buff start is going to be a possibility. I want to know whether they're going to try and create some sort of opportunities. Cyanide is in blue position, so I don't think they will.
They actually like the fact that IG is starting red, because they don't want to risk Fnatic late invading on their blue, and then Fiddlestick is starting there to catch him out, to kill him, and then their own blue, or Fnatic's own blue, will just be taken by Sana when he's rotating around. So I like the fact he starts red. It would give him the option as well, if Fnatic was on their blue, to just rotate up to Fnatic's blue and take it. So good start there by IG.
Cyanide didn't get any help there either, so he's going to be a little bit more delayed than Illusion will be in that jungle path. This bottom lane, this is the interesting one. We saw Dark Bindings being landed non-stop yesterday, and there is one, but look at that. Kinnon's putting a lot of pressure down on towards Reckless. Reckless trying to return the favor while the Unstar harass the AD carry, and actually barely even trade as they're about to approach level 2.
And Yellow Star actually started Dark Binding. Normally you see the W being the first skill pick up for Morgana. He's landing a second one here, so some good poke. But with the W, he can push the lane a lot and also have good early game poke.
Reckless didn't manage to land his shot though. Managing to miss that Q that he's leveled up early in the piercing light. Has been pressured back, but Yellow Star landing those 2 Dark Bindings early on is a good sign. He will be throwing them out. There's the third one, 3 for 3 so far. Not a bad trade, not a bad start from him. Of course, that's giving him gold every time he lands it with that Spell Thief's Edge.
Every single time, and that's the thing. He want to make sure it's always having to stack up, never on 3 stacks, because you want to use it all the time so you can get this extra gold. And Fiddlestick's actually coming towards top lane very early on here. Source is pressured slightly down to his turret, but it's very hard for Fiddle here to do enough damage.
Yeah, Cyanide is nearby, and if he manages to get close enough, he's actually going towards those golems. He's going to come around the backside, so this may be a tower dive. With that double buff on him, it's a dangerous, dangerous dive.
It's going to be a lot onto PDD to actually go in, land everything onto Source, and then dashing out without dying, because Illusion, with his drain, it's not doing enough early on. He needs his ultimate for the full Fiddlestick damage.
Oh, he's going to back away from that one. Head back off towards the large Wraith. Zitai in this mid lane up against Peke. Really pressured him heavily with that Yasuo yesterday. Peke didn't really have an answer for it. We'll be feeling a bit more comfortable in this lane matchup.
Yeah, it's a lot easier lane for Peke, because Nidalee early on, she's more or less just focusing on farming because that's what she can do. She needs to cat form her level 6 before she can actually start going aggressive. And that's where Pekka can just farm away as well and make sure he doesn't give up any early advantage.
Well, I mean, in their defense, I'm going to be honest, we haven't got a player like Zitai that plays Yasuo in that mid lane. We've not had someone that just dominate and really bully out the lane. So this, though, matchup against the Nidalee, this is something he would have seen many times in the European scene.
Yeah, he knows this matchup in and out. He plays Nidalee himself, of course, so for him there should be no surprises here. He can never be caught off guard. He can, of course, take a spear too and drop low, but that should be it. And PDD getting a lot of poke onto Source, and look who's here again. Fiddlesticks is waiting behind in the bushes, either for Sana to come up and gank so he can counter gank it, or maybe he wants to move in for a dive.
Well, a dive is a possibility this time around, of course. Shyvana inherently is weaker in those first early levels. We do see Cyanide making his way up here. There is a minion wave, so we will have time to survive. I think Cyanide's probably going to go towards the golems rather than straight to this lane, though.
Yeah, but Cyanide is in a good position to move over instantly. Here's go.
There they go, straight in toward it. Soaz, he's going to go down there. The Ignite's already running. There is first blood, easily done by PDD. Great stun and fear drain.
And Fiddlestick simply flashes in, pops the fear, the stun from PDD, and just ignite and the full damage, and they take him down. Didn't even have to go under the turret. Very good dive by IG, and very good pre-work by PDD, getting Source low so they could pick up the kill without Cyanide having any chance of actually coming up there.
Yeah, didn't even get close enough, and as mentioned, he went for those golems, and that was just what delayed him that little bit extra. Spears landed on Peke, that's not what he wants there. ZZ time managed to roll that, return replies with a barrel of his own. Let's have a look down towards this bottom lane, because we haven't seen these for a while. Yellowstar started off landing those dark bindings very well, dodges out, and of course that black shield he has will counter that death sentence every single time it's thrown out.
Yeah, it's simply stopping him from being pulling towards him. Fresh can still launch himself to the target, but he doesn't provide any CC. And now, Sana coming around on CC tie.
Has Peke managed to bait him long enough here? He hasn't quite hit level 6, so he hasn't got that explosive cast. There's the barrier burn out. Oh, the cocoon lands! They do manage to get in there, and it's Cyanide that takes the first kill.
So Cyanide makes sure that he's also active in this game as the jungler here, because Illusion, he went top first for the gank. This time, though, Cyanide comes into mid lane, and very good pick up for Pekka here. Even though he only got the assist, he's still giving him some farm and some time to get level 6 now.
You can see the Spectral Cowl being picked up, first item for PDD, so going towards that Spirit Visage. Meanwhile, it is the Chain Vest building towards that Sunfire Cape, possibly for Soaz. Yellowstar throwing out that Tormented Soul. Cyanide's making his way down south. We're wondering whether he's going to head in towards that bottom lane. It seems that at the moment he's more interested in the race.
And Cyanide is a level ahead now of Fiddlestick, so if he's catching him out, there's nothing Fiddlestick can actually do. And as long if he can make sure they delay the level 6 or at least spot when Fiddlestick gets to level 6, they can be more careful because they know now the ganking potential of him jumping in with ultimate is there.
Ward down on the river, Soaz meanwhile going up against PDD, seeing how well he stands, that burnout running, but it doesn't seem that he has the strength once again. Dominus is popped by PDD, he's going really deep on that one, straight into the tower, really pressuring Soaz. He had that ultimate available along with his Ignite, remember, but Soaz not feeling he has the damage just yet.
But Source decided also to not use the ultimate, so he took some extra poke from running all the way back to the turret. It does open up for now for a dive against him, but he will have the ultimate to try and escape at least.
Yeah, he's just only got that Doran shield to keep himself stacked up. But while that happens, Fnatic are trying to take advantage. They've got that Elise, and of course with those skittering spiders, they can tank out the dragon, and that's exactly what they're doing. Kitties is nearby, the rest of IG are closing in. Nidalee's going to come around. Those spears are possible to spear and steal, but not going to happen. Cyanide get the first dragon. And
very fast reaction from Fnatic actually. They spotted Fiddlestick at the ward you see towards the Raves, and they saw him moving towards the blue buff, and instantly started the dragon because they knew he wasn't in a position to profit, or at least he would have to move there with the rest of the team. So very nice, actually just going straight in there and being very aggressive early on from Fnatic's side.
Illusion trying to take advantage of this, knowing that the jungle is not nearby, but this time there is a ward from Soaz in that tribe, but he will see Illusion coming in and immediately backs away from this one. Crowstorm is now available, of course, for Illusion, so that Crowstorm into Fear is a dangerous, dangerous combo. Look at the river, though. We see Peke making his way up here. They may well try and bait this one through.
He needs to be careful though, because if he gets spotted by the wards in here, he can actually be caught out. Now they're going for Illusion.
Dragon descent on towards him, explosive cast forces back. He can just belly slam across, but he doesn't need it. Soaz gets himself the kill.
Very nice play again by Fnatic. There was no wards in the river going up here. The only ward from PDD was in the tri-bush, so Pekka wasn't spotted out. It simply meant he could go towards the Baron Nesha area here and then catch out Fiddlesticks together with Source. So nice play. and a very good kill for Source here. It's what he needs to make sure he can handle this Renekton.
Exactly what he needs in that lane, especially when they're at level 7. There is a ward in that tri-bush. PDD will see it. He knows the ultimate's not available for Soaz. He will be up in just a moment. He just needs to build up that rage bar, though. We see Cyanide coming in. If he lands that cocoon, it could be a lot of damage on towards PDD. I'm not sure if it's enough. He's going to have that dominance available, and he will get himself safe towards the tower.
So they didn't get any summoners from PDD, but they got the ultimate down at least, meaning more farm time for Source. But look here. Early mobility boots onto Fiddlesticks, so he's going to be very fast moving around the map here. He instantly went to the bot lane. Flash went in second top lane.
Top lane, we do see it. We finally saw it at the end there. It was a 1-for-1 trade. Now we see the Crowstorm in the bottom, and the Yellow Star's going to go down. He tries to flash away. The Culling coming out, doing next to nothing from Reckless, and that is going to be the bottom turret going down for Invictus Gaming. The flash had to be used by Reckless to get out of that death sentence.
And there's so little you can do once there's a pink ward in the lane bush here, and Fiddlestick can just sneak all the way up into your lane and then ulti into your face. It is so hard to react to it, and very nice gank using the mobility boots to instantly come down the bot lane and set something up. But yeah, top lane wise, PDD died as well.
Cyanide trying his best to counter. He will have the next wave of minions in there before PDD gets in. Now, I'm not too sure if he's got enough to take the tower down yet. He's going to back away from that one, so he will not get it. First tower will go to Invictus Gaming in this bottom lane.
And we actually have to highlight the fact that C-Tai in the mid lane is doing really well on farm. He's keeping up with Pekka here. The longer you get into the game with mid lane, if you can get the early farm, you can get your death cap, your chalice, and obviously your void stuff, you're going to be this insane poke beast that is so annoying to deal with for Fnatic and forces Fnatic to actually hard engage before they can get sieged down.
This is what Soaz needs. Cyanide coming round once again on towards PD. Dominus is not available, but Dragon Descent is. Cyanide's going to come in. PDD's in trouble. The cocoon lands once again. PDD is going to go down here. Who is going to pick up the kill? Soaz goes aggressive. He's got Fiddlesticks coming up the river. They need to take this one quickly. Illusion is there, but it's Soaz that gets himself another kill.
And absolutely perfect. There was cooldown on the trinket ward for PDD, so he didn't have any vision of Cyanide coming in there, and he actually used the dashes forward. Simply meant when Cyanide came around, easy gank for him, and they're just shutting down Renekton at the moment and giving the kills over to Source. Perfect.
Well, they're going to keep that pressure in the top lane. Meanwhile, Yellowstar's caught out in all sorts of hot water, and Kid will pick himself up a kill. That was an easy setup in the tri-bush.
I have no idea why he went in there without black shielding himself first. All too easy for IG to just pick up a kill onto him. And you can't really give up these kills. It was what Fnatic did in the first game against IG. A lot of personal mistakes that gave them some early kills. They can't do this here because they're actually doing so well in the top lane.
Yeah, the tower going down. Explosive Cask was used there, just blowing to the side. ZZ Tight dodging out, really not taking any damage at all.
But Pekka is having some issues here. A lot of spears landing from C-Tai. He's full health. He still has the barrier and the flash, of course, so it's very hard to kill the Nidalee at this point. And he can just constantly push out the wave, try and land the spears, and it's what he's doing.
This is what we saw from IG yesterday. Fast rotations. The minute they take that bottom turret, they start moving towards the middle, towards the top. You can see PDD all alone pushing that top turret. So as he's going to get back there, but there's going to be damage on that turret once again. Meanwhile, the mid lane, we did see the two bot laners working their way in towards their Reckless and Yellowstar are trying to defend it.
And notice PDD up here in your top of the map. He's warding here because he's pushed it out. He's moving now towards the jungle of Fnatic so he can apply some pressure down towards this mid lane. They absolutely love to dive. If they see a chance, if there are multiple people there, he's in a good position to join in.
4 members in this mid lane, now 5 from IG all across the side. Reckless and Yellowstar all alone.
And look at Source though, he knows something is going on here, so he's moving down instantly, very fast, pinging out PDD as well. Good move by him.
Spotted him out, and they're at level 9. This is actually, the tides may well turn here. They do have the Sunfire Cape on him. Dark Binding is not going to land from Yellowstar, despite the great start he had. They've not been coming in. Reckless just dodging out of that spear at the last second.
So Fnatic have been doing their homework. They're not falling for this roaming or rotations from IG. They knew as soon as Renekton went missing from the top lane, there was a high chance he was going to go for mid. Source just walked down, despite the wave actually being in the middle up in top.
And some great damage avoidance there from Fnatic as well. Dodging out. Oh, that's going to be the Dark Binding landing. Quickly followed up by the barrel. Explosive Cask being used. The cocoon just a whisker away from Kiddies.
A little bit slow here from Pekka actually. He decided to barrel first before he ultimated, so the binding ended. Simply meant that Fresh could actually move away so he didn't get knocked into the team of the barrel, but still, force away a flash. Very good binding, and then Pekka follows up with some damage.
This is a rotation that's turned in Fnatic's favor now, keeping that pressure on. Dragon up in 10 seconds time. They're ready and waiting. So has a little bit ahead of time on that ordering, but now IG going to react.
And Here at this point, they need to be careful about the Fiddlestick damage. If he gets an ultimate into the face of Fnatic, multiple people being hit, away here from the Dragon Pit, it can be very dangerous for them, but they're in a good position at the moment.
And remember that explosive cask was used just a moment ago. They're actually split. So as is coming around the backside of them, trying to put damage on towards Kid. They do see Yellowstar getting caught out. He was feared up. Does manage to get that dark binding down, but he's taken very low. Soaz goes aggressive, gets up towards him. PDD having to run away as that culling comes out. And that was an even trade, but still, the Crow Storm was not used yet by IG.
Fiddlestick actually decided to run in and flash Fear onto Yellowstar when they tried to kill him. Oh, sorry, to spear him, and then he flashed out afterwards, so he didn't get to use the ultimate. It's still ready, and so is the Dragon. It's still up. Everyone just reset.
They're still sieging on towards this mid lane turret. You can see Reckless down the bottom. Yellowstar's had to go back, so this turret is going to be given up by Fnatic. I don't sure if they're going to be able to clear this wave out. They're keeping the pressure on. Spirit aside. Oh, nicely done. Kid trying to jump on towards him, but, well, he belly slammed in towards a minion instead.
But some good wave there from Gragas, actually keeping the turret alive, while Reckless is farming in the bot lane here. So very nice for Fnatic. The red buff, however, PDD went up there instantly after. He didn't stay with the team in mid lane, so he gets the red buff, but Dragon is still alive.
Well, Peke working great with that Gragas so far. He has that wave clearing potential with that explosive cast to clear it out, and they've quickly gone straight back to the Dragon, and they are going to get it this time around. Illusion taking half the hit points off him there with Peke's barrel. That means he can't go in. His Crow Storm's coming in. Is he going to get close enough? Instead, they're just going to get out of the distance, and the smite from Cyanide takes the Dragon down. Illusion in trouble now. Cyanide's going to get jumped on, but he manages to turn the kill around, takes a spear, and quickly repels away, managing to avoid all the damage. Still Fnatic managing to jump out of it. Dark Binding doesn't land. Well, Peke went for it. Sorry, Cyanide did, but he didn't work out for him. But IG, it's only a kill for a kill, but the Dragon to Fnatic.
And due to the ward Fnatic put over the Dragon wall, Fiddlestick actually had to charge his ultimate in the bush. That's why he couldn't get into the face of Fnatic. He had to just jump in the pit and try and smite away the Dragon. But we know how good Cyanide is when it comes to smiting. And of course, with Elise, execute on her Q when it comes to these objectives. Very, very good for him and very strong of him. And then 1-for-1 and the Dragon for Fnatic, definitely in their favor.
Blue buff was stolen away, I believe, by Z-Tai, which is why you can see him start to keep that pressure. And Peke, he's been around this long mid lane for a long time. He's having to keep that gold stacking up. He's at 1,500 already. And Z-Tai keeping that pressure on, doing a good job avoiding those spears.
Yeah, Peke now actually pulling really far ahead, or not really far, but he's actually pulling ahead, and Gragas, when is having these levels, he can just constantly wave clear because he's killing the back wave with one single Q. He can do it every single time, and it's very good for him. He needs to keep the pressure going here, and Yellowstar, he needs to keep trying to land these bindings. When they land one, Peke needs to go in with his body slam and then ulti the guy back to the team of Fnatic, and they can pick up a kill.
This is a much closer game than we saw between these two teams yesterday morning. Cyanide, though, going in towards Z-Tai. Quickly the Lantern once again thrown out by Kiddies, doing a great job with those Lanterns.
And now, let's see, Peke actually decided to move bot lane here. He wants to shove it up, but Sivir is there already to push it up towards him. Meanwhile, though, Lucian or Reckless is just trying to get some farm in the jungle. Obviously, he's going to get the mid lane farm here together with Nidalee, so nothing really happening at the moment. Dragon is gone. The target for IG should be this mid turret, though, because it's very low already.
So what do we make of this? We can see the Hydra's being built. The Tiamat to start with, of course, for PDD. Rather than going with that tanky item, he started out with the Spectral Coward. He started out going to go tanky. If he doesn't go that item soon, they're going to be in trouble without a tank.
It's going to be a big issue for them. However, he's doing really well farming-wise, so that's good for him. Source is only on 80 CS at the moment, so he's actually very far behind. But yeah, PDD, he is the tank. And then normally you see Fiddlestick actually building towards the Sonyas, so he can jump into the face, engage a fight, and then pop the Sonyas, which is really annoying to deal with. And now ZZ-Tai actually been going on Kid also.
Kid gonna get jumped on by Peke. He's had uses that spell shield already, but Peke has not got enough to dive on towards the turret. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the pressure on. Z-Tai getting caught out by that dark binding. They're gonna follow through onto Kiddies, keeping the pressure down. Reckless putting pressure on towards that tower, but now they have to back away. They see the vision. IG pushing down the river.
And Fnatic, they spotted Fiddlestick up in the top lane. That's why they went aggressive in bot and went aggressive in the mid lane. So very good play by them. Punishing IG when they are setting multiple people in one lane. Source pushing the wave down. He needs to be careful though because PDD is coming towards him. But we're at the point now where the tanks, they can't really kill each other 1v1.
Something we have to point out is the massive farm advantage PDD has over Soaz currently.
Exactly.
Oh, Peke getting away. Death Sensor's not going to land. He's got a 50 CS gap. That is huge for the two tanks in the top lane.
He's just been able to push out the lane and then rotate down to mid lane, and Source had to follow instantly instead of getting the farm back. That's why he's been constantly falling behind, and of course Renekton beats Shyvana early on. Once we see a few more items on Source, he should be able to actually try and catch up in form, because PDD will be forced to run with the team instead of trying to 1v1 Source.
He's a little bit blind at the moment though, and Illusion has managed to creep himself in there. Crowstorm is available, as well as the Flash, and if he gets stunned out here, he may well be in trouble. Dragon Descent is available if he needs to try and jump away, but he's got to be careful that Fear doesn't catch him out soon enough. He's got to realize something's up. Cyanide already heading this way.
Yeah. Wisely enough by IG, they don't actually go for this. Because again, mid lane, Fnatic are constantly pushing it down with Reckless, with Yellowstar, trying to get some damage on this turret. So every single time Fiddlesticks is gone from the mid lane, they see the opening, they go down and push it. And now Sana coming towards top again.
Yeah, he's going to jump on towards him. PDD's in trouble this time. Dominus being used. Dragon Descent was already used by Soaz, keeping that pressure on. Here comes Cyanide coming around the side, but look at the mid lane. They're coming up the river. They're going to back away from this one. We can see that Illusion and Kitties are both there.
Very, very smart Fnatic backing away here. PDD also doing a very good job actually surviving this gank, dashing around, moving around here before Cyanide could get in range to actually do anything. It's a very good move by him. And this mid turret getting lower and lower.
We've been talking about the mid lane being defended non-stop. Look at Reckless's farm. He's starting to edge ahead of Kid. He's been in this mid lane for a long period of time. About to go back and buy on himself a chunk of gold. He's going to go straight for that Zeal.
Yeah, the matchup down in the bot lane between Peke and Sivir didn't really go very well for Kid, because he couldn't really farm because Peke went on to him. That's why he was forced backwards. Meanwhile, Reckless just stayed in the mid lane, constantly pushed out the wave. So very good for Fnatic getting some farm onto Reckless here. Mid turret though, couldn't stand any longer.
Finally, it goes down. Yellowstar couldn't hold that one out. That's going to drop some of the vision away from Fnatic. Peke has been putting a good siege on this bottom turret, but as of yet, unable to make a dent on it. And that means he's going to have to back away. But it's a much more confident looking Peke this morning.
And it's a lot slower game than last time these two teams played each other, because Fnatic haven't made all the personal mistakes they did early game against IG last time around. So IG didn't get this lead early on. They're actually behind 2k gold. And we have the next dragon coming in 30 seconds. So we see IG falling back to just trying to farm up now instead of making aggressive plays.
And Yellowstar doing actually what we expect to see with the spell piece. He's traded in and he's got himself that Ruby Sightstone and traded in the spell thief for the talisman. Well, the coin up to the
coin,
nomads.
And then he's going to upgrade it to talisman, and it's the right thing to do, because you don't want to upgrade your spell thief. It's only providing small damage burst and then a 2-second slow onto a small area when you fire it as a skill shot actually, and it doesn't give enough compared to what the utility you get from the talisman.
And the dragon is about to spawn, and Fnatic have the timing down perfectly. IG not even close to this one. The dragon will go to Fnatic before they get close.
Very good timing. They have the exact time on it. They're there instantly, take it down so fast with Elise, of course. Instantly smiting away. No chance of IG to react because they weren't in position before the dragon spawned.
And it is Fnatic slightly ahead, but this is not done by the long shot. There has not been a big team fight just yet to really see who has the power. Peke may well get caught out. He's all alone in this bottom lane right now, and IG are trying to make a play, but it seems that it's the mid lane they're looking to focus on. If he shows himself pushing further, they're going to go for him.
And again, for IG here, they didn't win the early game like they normally do when they actually win their games. In the games in LPL, whenever they lose early on, they have absolutely no idea what to do. They're slow on objectives, they rotate poorly, and they just try some weird dives. If they start doing the weird dives here, it could go into favor of Fnatic, and so far the Dragons have been going in favor of Fnatic, and we actually only seen IG trying to farm and then trying to gank top lane a few times. Nothing else.
Well, Peke with that ping ward spots out. Zitai is going to back off just in time. Will not get spotted out. Meanwhile, it is all back to the mid lane. Yeah, Reckless and Yellowstar in there. So as a PDD, they've been going at it for so long in that top lane. And PDD has kept himself a good farm advantage. Has that team out completed? Meanwhile, we can see Bilgewater has been built up by Soaz, and they're still yet to really get any damage on that mid turret.
Well, Fnatic needs to be careful here. If they don't have vision on Fiddlestick, who is level 11 at the point, so his ultimate is rank 2. Good ward on him here, so yeah, actually pings it and it disappears instantly.
Yeah, he's just actually timed out. The irony is that they kind of had the idea that somebody was staring at him, and you can see IG keeping that poke going down, but if they can avoid those spears, but those spears are going to get stronger and stronger, and we've seen already how much of a siege can be turned with those spears. It can just be a tower gained by a couple of spears landing.
And the issue for Fnatic is if they don't have vision on the Fiddlesticks, they can't really just hard engage onto Nidalee to stop it from poking, because he will ultimate into your face, and that's very, very deadly. So as long as they keep the good wards they've been having now on the sides, they can actually poke and also do some damage here.
Good poke with Cyanide, gets caught with the death sentence, quickly repels away. He's got a minion line he can jump to, which is exactly where he goes. You saw how quick those shields on Z-Tai saved him. He got caught out by a barrel. Oh, another death sentence landing, this time at Peke. The ultimate being used by Kiddies. They're going to jump on this one. Peke is going to go down. They're not going to reply. Kid's going to get caught out though. That's the AD carry for the mid laner. We also saw Illusion going down to Cyanide as Fnatic can keep on pushing.
And here we see the damage of Elise onto Fiddlesticks. As soon as Fiddlesticks ultimated in to try and get or help with the kill on Peke, Sana just turned it around instantly.
Top lane was also going at it. You can see PDD and Soaz continuing to trade blows on that top tower. He's still yet to take it down. Soaz doing a great job of defending it. And Reckless, well, he's continuing to farm out. But again, they're going at it. Dragon Descent being used, and Soaz is in a little bit of trouble this time. That tower not really going to offer the protection he used to, because PDD is strong enough that he can just tank it out.
And Soaz, he really needs to complete the Blade of the Ruined King before he can actually start one-on-one against PDD, because he's so far ahead due to the farm. He's also having 2 kills, of course. While there's objective gold onto Source, it's not enough at this point. He needs the Blade of the Ruined King, and then he can really do over the next time.
Spear coming through, not quite landing, and they're not letting this blue buff go across to Z-Tai. He needs that one to keep those cooldowns going. He wants to try and steal it away. Dark Binding not going to land there. Cyanide is nearby if he needs to smite it away, but he wants to save that for as long as possible, and more importantly, they want Peke to get it. Top lane turret does go down. Cyanide still close by. Peke is in there this time around. They will secure this one, I feel. Fnatic, that spear is going to land. It's Cyanide that will get in front of it and take it with his Spiderlings.
Cyanide didn't want to take the chance, actually took away the blue buff. Didn't go for Peke here, so IG should be fairly happy because their own blue buff should be spawning and they can give it to Nidalee. Their poke champion is having blue buff and Fnatic's is not.
Spirit Visage being built up by Soaz next. Hasn't gone towards that Bilgewater. Well, he's got the Bilgewater Cutlass. Hasn't gone towards the Blade of the Rune King just yet. Making sure he needs to be tanky for his team. Of course, those spears are going to be thrown in. Somebody has to catch them.
And notice the pink wards placed by IG. They know exactly where they want Fiddlestick to come in from. Both around the mid lane here. If Fnatic is pushing down towards the fairly low mid turret from IG's side, they will be able to, or Fiddlestick will be able to jump in unnoticed, but now Fnatic actually spots out the pink, clears it, very good by them, and they should be able to get this one as well.
They may be able to put the pressure on that mid lane as well. You can see that pink just off at the side, and there's a few members of IG missing here. Oh, spell shield from Kid there, catching that Dark Binding. They have a wave to push in. They may try and get the pressure on towards that turret. Kid's the only man defending it. It's very low already, and Fnatic finally take that mid turret down.
Very good move here. Z-Tai wasn't in a position, that's why Fiddlestick didn't want to jump into the face of Fnatic, so they actually get it, and now this blue buff is important.
Peke wants this one. He's going to throw that barrel through. Kiddies catches him with a death sentence, but it's not the blue buff they want going to get, and instead Z-Tai does manage to get away with it.
So Z-Tai gets the blue buff here. Simply means IG can actually group up, go towards Fnatic and start poking away with Nidalee. And if Fnatic engages, you have the Sivir ultimate to disengage. Of course, you have the box compress as well.
Look at Fnatic. They're making a rush. They know that they've got a wave in the bottom, and Reckless and Peke both going to charge down, take down this bottom turret. We'll see what IG does to react to this one. The turret's going to go down. They're going to push for that mid lane, so it's down to Fnatic to try and defend it and get back as quick as possible.
And IG actually decides to stop here because the minion wave for them is so far away. They can't push all the way up to here. So very good move by Fnatic, rotating bot lane when they had already cleared the mid wave.
And again, some great poke from Cyanide there, really putting the damage down. Dragon up in 15 seconds, and IG just completely unaware.
So Fiddlesticks is recalling. He will be able, with mobility boost, to come fast back here, but he's going to be very, very fast. 7 seconds, and Fnatic is in a great position. But okay, IG is here with multiple members, just missing the jungler.
Soaz needs to get himself down. He's just taking that red buff out. He's going to be down here in the time it's spawned, but look how quick it goes down. That was a quick pickup for Fnatic.
It's been such a big win for Fnatic. They can take every single dragon away from IG because they're simply faster on the timings here. And they can keep extending the lead. Every time Dragon is up, Fnatic will be there, take it away instantly, and IG not in a position to do anything.
Well, yesterday, I wouldn't have put Fnatic winning their way out of a paper bag. Instead, today, they're looking like a team that can take down one of the Chinese competitors.
And we have the Blade of the Rune King completed onto Source now. Let's see if he can actually 1v1 against PDD, because it should be turning in his favor now.
IG. And this is the time period that we talked about with IG. It showed against KT Bullets yesterday, and it showed in the LPL. they are a little unaware. They haven't got this gigantic advantage that they built up. They do still have that power, that potential with PDD getting in there. If he can get layered on with Illusion, you can see him just up for the side here. Got that pink ward down, but he's going to get spotted down. Cocoon gets thrown out from Cyanide, does not land it.
Fnatic is perfectly aware of where he can be, and Source going on to PDD.
PDD caught out here a little bit, and well, he's going to get singled out. That's going to be the ultimate potent off. It will stun him out eventually. Cocoon misses, but it doesn't matter. We do see Soaz getting caught in there. Kiddies has gone really deep on this one, and he's just going to get massacred in there. Illusion finally gets his ultimate off, gets that Zhonya's hourglass off, but the damage is being done. The Barrow Cat is out. It's the triple kill for Reckless. Fnatic are going to run down that mid lane.
Absolutely perfect for Fnatic. First Source is catching out PDD, and also they were perfectly aware of the rest of the members, so they just went to him, invested a lot of things to kill him, but it was worth it, because then Pekka came in from the side and knocked fresh into the face of Fnatic, killed him as well. And when Fiddlesticks came there, yes, he could kill Cyanide, but they still managed to pick up a kill on him as well.
Fnatic instead, they're not going to pick an objective off that one, but let's check this fight out.
Yeah, look here, they know that the rest of IG is in the mid lane, so you actually see Pekka already moving in position to shoot them back. Boom! And Kiddies is in the face of Reckless here. Easy kill for him. Fiddlesticks will pick up the kill onto Cyanide, but then he has the Zhonya's, and when your Zhonya's in the middle of the enemy team, it actually does nothing but delay your own death.
Yeah, that spear also catching him straight in there. That's why Z-Tai did manage to get it, but Fnatic definitely looking a lot better today. IG starting to look a little bit shaky as we move in towards this late game period. 10-7 advantage, and you know, Fnatic yesterday, I think they barely got close to taking turrets down. IG were all over them. Dark Binding blocking out, sorry, Black Shield blocking out the death sentence there.
Let's just be real here. Fnatic is playing a lot better in the early game today compared to yesterday.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's the key against IG.
But is that down to the picks though? Because, I mean, we saw it at the start. We're like, this is not an early game push comp.
We can 100% agree. First of all, the picks for IG are not ideal when it comes to their diving on aggressive early game. And then we can say Fnatic didn't exactly counter-pick themselves by going Kassadin into Yasuo like they did yesterday. Lost the mid lane horribly. This time around, they have the Gragas. Pekka been doing a very good job outside of the laning phase, setting up things for Fnatic. And also, they've been reading IG really well. The rotations from IG early on, Fnatic was there to counter them, and also they know where Fiddlesticks is.
Can Soaz now beat out PD in the duel? It seems that he can. The PDD pops that dominance, and look at the river. We already see Cyanide heading up here. Soaz is just biding his time for this one. He is pretty even, has still yet to use that ultimate. Instead, he's going to see Cyanide coming up there. PDD has got himself away, but that tank duel seems like it's turned in the favor of Soaz.
Yeah, Soaz didn't actually use his ultimate. He did drop a little bit low to PDD, simply because he didn't actually use it. Remember, his armor is getting doubled when he pops his ultimate here to make a big difference in the fight against PDD.
Well, pink ward being taken by Kiddies. And IG continuing to keep pressure on. This time around, PDD is forced to back away. Dark Binding will not land. They are putting pressure on towards this middle turret. Fnatic caught off guard here, and IG made a good move. Tactical play to take that mid turret. Yeah,
Pekka was actually stuck in the bot lane, just clearing out the wave. So IG just moved up multiple members. There was no wave in the mid lane. Took down the turret because Cyanide was up top. So very good move here. Getting a turret, it's very important for them when they are this far behind. Everything you can get here will give you a chance, or at least build up a comeback for you.
Blue buff going across to Z-Tai. That is so important for their siege comp, to keep them spears heading in there along with their boomerang blades.
And both the mid laners have the 3 core items for them. We have the Void Staff, we have the Death Cap, and of course their Fiends. So you have good mana regen, you have a lot of damage. Landing a spear from Z-Tai at the moment will drop everyone from Fnatic fairly low, except for Source, of course. But it can be very dangerous for them if they actually let IG siege them up. But the same thing goes for Pekka. If you land a barrel onto Sivir, onto Fiddlesticks, they will take a big chunk.
Notice the boots, the Mercury treads being picked up by Pekka rather than the Source boots, because he's so fearful of that fear that Illusion can throw out. Wasn't exactly how I planned to say it, fearful of the fear, but nevertheless.
We get the point.
We do get the point. So, everybody in a bit of a stagnant situation, bit of a standoff, still unsure of each other's power. Fnatic gain the advantage, of course, getting that pick off earlier on PDD. And again, Soaz continuing to duel out with PDD in this top lane.
And Fnatic seems happy actually not going too aggressive with their lead, except for Source going on to PDD once again.
This time around, the Blade of the Rune King has been popped, still got that ultimate available. Dominus is up, but PDD clearly not having fun in that duel anymore.
No, there was no Ignite onto PDD's side. We had Ignite on Source, he could have popped it, and also his ultimate onto the fight here. So he's doing really well, 1 versus 1 at the moment, with also the extra armor.
Dragon, oh, Peke takes a spear. That's going to force him away. Dragon is up in 15 seconds time. Peke is going to have to run back to town, but he's going to stick around. That's going to be dangerous. He's coming into this fight at half health.
So Peke is actually very, very far away at the moment here. Fnatic might actually look to just give up this Dragon.
Kitties really wanted to try and land a pick there. They want to try and set this Dragon out, but it's not going to be quick enough for them. They use that talisman to try and get something from it, but Fnatic, they were split off, and they're more interested in the middle turret.
Yes, look what they're doing here. Fnatic don't want to fight for the Dragon, so Soaz, he returned to the top lane because PDD is gone, and the rest of Fnatic just pushed down the mid lane.
They're going to push across. IG is defending the mid lane, but it's the top lane that Fnatic are running for. That inner turret is going to get taken low. PDD, got to be careful. He's putting himself in a dangerous situation. Yellowstar caught out with the dead sensors, but quickly uses that black shield to block himself. Talisman used off as well. The dark binding landed on Kitties. They quickly back away. Turret did get taken.
And that black shield really saved Yellowstar. He couldn't get feared due to it, so he blocked the CC, potentially onto him, and he would have died. But good rotation from Fnatic. Instead of going for the risky Dragon with Peke using the flash, being low, they simply just went back to the top lane. PDD was gone and took a turret. So very good rotation. Need to be careful here they don't recall, because then IG can actually rush the Baron.
Yeah, IG seemed a little bit panicked there though, because they rushed up. They realized they have got no vision on that Baron. We see Soaz now starting to come down that river. He's going to ward out the Baron. It's a Dragon start for IG, and I think they're going to take this one.
So IG will actually get a Dragon here, but Fnatic responding with the Baron.
That is exactly what we were wondering IG might try and do, but that Baron is down to half hit points. IG not getting close enough. Talisman was already used a moment ago. They got no vision in this, and Fnatic take the Baron.
Fnatic gets the Baron. They were just waiting for IG to go through the mid lane, down towards the Dragon, and instantly started. We thought Fnatic was about to recall, and IG could rush it.
Very well played there by Fnatic, tactically catching IG unawares. Kid, now the tankiest member, is starting to lose out in that top lane fight, and the pressure from Soaz is starting to give all sorts of opportunities to Fnatic.
And this Baron buff will definitely help him when it comes to the 1v1s. PDD might even be forced to rotate down with his team and then just try a team fight 5 against 5 for IG side, or 5 against 4 if they can catch someone from Fnatic out with the fear from Fiddlesticks or with the hook from Kitties.
5 members of Fnatic with that Baron on, charging down that mid lane. See where they can go. Actually trying to catch out PDD, but he's backing off. He's well away from this one. Not going to get caught out just yet. Minion wave coming in. The rest of Fnatic are going to rotate around. Top lane wave needs pushing in, actually. Fnatic actually more interesting farming the jungle at the moment for some reason.
So while Fnatic is ahead, they have the Baron buff. We need to remember still the power of something like a Nidalee.
Yeah.
If he lands the spear, he will chunk you down still. You will regain some of it, but it's going to take time. And that's where IG will have an opening to actually engage. If you land 1 or 2 spears, and then Fiddlesticks just engage in with PDD, it can actually mean Fnatic will lose the fight.
We should also remember that Baron was an opportunistic fight, really. They took it opportunistically, so they don't need to just rush in and say, hey, we got Baron, let's charge into a fight. They don't need to go headlong into it. They are keeping them waves, and they want to push all 3 lanes now. Now we see PDD. He's gone towards the bottom lane instead, so he's going to try and counter it and push in, keep the pressure there. Peke is already there to counter that, though.
And he wants to simply just keep farming, and if he goes up top lane here, Source will duel him and beat him. That's why he's going bot lane to get some farm. He's very, very tanky. If you look at his items here, he actually just completed the Hydra, then he has the Spirit Visage, he has Sunfire, and of course, he has the Thorn Mail. So he will be very tanky, and it will be very annoying for Reckless to deal with. But if Fnatic can simply get towards the backline instead, knock someone back to them with the Gragas ultimate, it doesn't even matter there's a Renekton.
Zitai without that blue buff, he wants to get in there. Soaz is already in by. It's going to be the hook. The Death Sensor's landing on that blue buff. They're going to try and steal this one away. Don't think it'll happen. Oh, did it? Not too sure, can't see who got it. It's PDD with it, actually. That's a problem. It's Zitai that wanted it, and PDD's not going to make much use out of that one.
Better than nothing for IG, though. Didn't give away the blue buff to Fnatic, but look at here. Peke, he's having the blue buff, so tides have turned. Now it's the poke machine from Fnatic having the blue buff, not from IG.
That spell shield trying to be work from Kid. The turret though taken down. That's going to be the ultimate coming out, but look at Illusion just getting dropped down. Finally uses the Zhonya's Hourglass. They have managed to get Yellowstar down, but PDD's going to drop. That's the tankiest member down, and then Fnatic can just turn it around. They got that regen coming out of the Baron buff. They can keep pushing on the turret.
And they trade top laner for support. Definitely in favor of Fnatic. They can stay, they can keep pushing down here. And Zitai is very, very low. He needs to go back to the base.
Everybody needs to run towards that fountain. Kid desperately trying to keep that spell shield, trying to save it for just something. The barrel's rolling through. The Dark Binding is not the threat, but the Cocoon certainly is. They're keeping that tower pressure on. They've taken half the hit points off the inhibitor turret. I think Fnatic may back off now.
So I like the fact that IG tried to catch Fnatic by surprise, simply just instantly engaged on them, but they didn't land any spear in advance. They didn't have to poke onto Fnatic, nobody was low. So when they actually engaged in, Black Shield from Yellowstar was used on someone else than himself. That's why he was the target. Yes, he died, but it's simply due to the fact Fnatic was still so healthy, IG couldn't do anything else.
Kid was spotted and they thought they might be able to try and steal something on him instead. They take the red buff away and Fnatic do rotate in towards this bottom lane. Barrels keep rolling out. Kiddy's getting caught out there. Fnatic will step away from this one. Yellowstar is back up, as is everyone on IG.
So Fnatic with the Baron buff managed to get the mid turret, and that's about it. So fair enough IG, holding them off, extending the game here. But late game wise, with this Fnatic combo, yes, Gragas will fall slightly off, but then compared to Nidalee, I would actually say I would keep the Gragas when it comes to team fights. So Fnatic side here with their combo, with of course Shyvana being so strong, Elise being good late game, Morgana being one of the best supports in the late game, and then of course with Lucian scaling so well damage wise, Fnatic's late game combo is very, very strong.
Well, the Ravenous Hydra has been completed by PDD. Thornmail was also picked up a while back. It hasn't seemed to be working just yet. Of course, Reckless has got a ton of damage at 403 once again. Reckless keeping himself very relevant in the game. Every time Fnatic play, Reckless certainly has a great performance and manages to avoid that damage. It's exactly what you want from the AD carry. You want him to stay in the fights, but on the edge of the fights.
Yeah, he's been doing so well. He's been doing actually like Kid did yesterday on Lucian, staying in the back first, and then whenever someone is low, he can go in and try and get a few hits onto him, get the double order attack, pick up the kill, and then just stay safe. And notice Pekka here, he actually picked up the DFG, so he decided not to go Banshees, didn't go Quicksilver Sash or Sonya's or Guardian Angel. He decided to go for more damage. And whoever's jumping in his face now from IG, he's going to get DFG'd and fully bursted by Pekka and the rest of Fnatic.
I don't know who's going to be foolish enough to be jumping in Fnatic's face, because every time it's done it so far, it's not worked out too well. Illusion with that Zhonya's, you'd think it'd be the one that's effectively the trigger, and simply put, is really the only initiation other than a death sentence now for IG.
And that's the big issue for IG. They need either Renekton to double dash in, or they need Fiddlesticks to jump in. And it's not enough hard engage for them. Look at all the Banshees onto Fnatic side. Who's Fiddlesticks gonna fear? Who's he gonna lock down? Nobody, because he simply can't. Pekka is the only option. He's having tenacity, so it's gonna be a shorter fear, and also the Black Shield is there as well.
Dragon time it down because they obviously didn't take the last one, but they got it with the Baron last time. It was IG that rushed it, so they knew the timing. And Fnatic take themselves yet another Dragon. I think that must be the 5th of the game for them now.
And actually, just talking about who Fiddlestick can engage on, just notice the Mikhail's gone to Yellowstars as well, and he just picked up a QSS, so that's the cleanse for him if he's the one getting feared. So they more or less eliminated every single engage option for IG, unless it's PDD with Sivir Ultimate dashing into their face.
Yeah, Pekka is the only one that'll actually get caught out with the fear now. He's got nothing really to escape it. That's why you have Black Shield and, of course, the Mercury Treads to minimize it if he does get caught out. Of course, Fnatic, though, that Baron is up in 30 seconds. IG, Kiddy's caught out here. Quickly use it to talisman for himself. Dark Binding caught out. He has got the Lantern there to click on. For Soaz, who's trying to get in the way of it. Now we're seeing ZD and Tai having to run away from that one. Kiddy's taking up all the damage. Soaz at the side. There's Illusion coming in at the side, but he does nothing with that Crowstorm, and IG have to back away.
Story of the game for Fiddlesticks, been doing absolutely nothing with his ultimates, and you saw how much damage he took instantly as he came in there, because Reckless just shot him a few times, down to 50%, had to run out, and Fnatic now, they can start this Baron.
Baron spawns, and Fnatic are all over it. IG are in their base. PDD, the only person coming in here, the only person close, and Soaz already has him covered off there, and we do see the Dark Bind. He comes out, catches on towards him, they quickly peel. PDD gonna get caught straight out, takes the Lantern, Baron's been picked up, Cyanide takes that one, and PDD running away with his life.
But we do have the Baron going to Fnatic here, so it's fine for them. They didn't, with the kill, they could have pushed down for inhib, but still now they can just wait out a little bit, go back and buy. They should have some good gold, and then with Baron buff, they can push down 5 members here and being very safe, because IG engaging for them, as we talked about, is very, very hard. They need to land some spears from Sitai. That is the only way they can come back in this game.
The gold advantage is rolling heavily in Fnatic's favor now. You can see it's a 13,000 gap, along with a 5-4 in turret advantage. This is the first time we've seen a European team over an Asian team with an advantage, to be honest, because yesterday Gambit got completely snowballed by Taipei Assassins, and Fnatic were not even in it against IG.
Exactly. The key part is this is the first time we see a European team with a good early game against one of the Asian teams. Issue all 3 games yesterday was the same. We lost, or the European teams lost the early game, and simply just lost the game from there. Fnatic played so well this time, and they countered the rotations from IG, and they did well 1 versus 1 in the lanes.
Reckless is pretty much full item built right now. All is left to do is sell the boots if he really wants to and go for that Zephyr, but I'm not too sure that's going to happen. PDD using, Soaz using that ultimate to try and jump on someone, but it didn't quite work out.
I do see why IG lost his Thresh though, because they've been saving so many people with the Lantern again and again and again. Fnatic tries to engage, Lantern is there, and you're safe.
And that is what's extending it. And I guess if you look at yesterday's game, JD doing a similar job with the Zillion, constantly giving someone a lease of life. But again, Fnatic got themselves a good positional advantage. They're going to take down this inner turret, no problem.
And Fnatic can continue pushing here. Okay, the Banshee now been popped from Cyanide, but he's not really the target you want to go for. And that was a spear onto the support. Only did about 30% HP, so that's not too good.
Oh, that one did catch. Was on, didn't see who it was. It was Peke. Peke's taking a bit of hit there, so they're going to back away from that siege. And this is basically IG's defense now. Their defensive mechanism, them spears, they have to land on someone crucial. And if it gets on the right person, Illusion and PDD are going to jump on it.
Yeah, and the thing for IG, I don't actually think they're sitting saying, oh, we're so far behind, this game is over. They're actually saying, we have a chance. We just need some good poke first, pop on the Hunt, have both Fiddlesticks and Renekton diving onto Fnatic, and they have a chance to actually win the team fights. So for them, they just need to keep it going.
Well, Reckless getting a couple of free shots on that bottom turret. We see Soaz actually and PDD bumping heads once again in that mid lane, keeping the pressure on towards them. That duel may well decide how this one works out, but Peke takes another spear, and that may well mean that Fnatic step away.
At least they want to be a little bit careful here. If Peke takes another spear, then he definitely have to go back and heal up. But Source, meanwhile, he's just putting the pressure onto PDD constantly.
Soaz keeping it down. He has, of course, got that Baron buff advantage over PDD, and he's already been winning out the duel before that advantage was built. But PDD is playing full-on Watchman duty. He is the last remaining Bastion. Kid takes a barrel. That's not what he wants. Reckless gets himself another couple of free shots there. They do manage to land the death sentence this time around. Oh, they're jumping on Kid. Kid is taken down. He instantly popped there. PDD being the tankiest member. Soaz is keeping him at bay. And Illusion's Crowstorm once again not catching anyone from Fnatic. Yellowstar comes back in. Dark Binding back off cooldown. Will he throw it out? Will it land on anyone? That's the question. Spear does land on towards Reckless. Reckless taking low there. PDD just gets dropped and melted. Reckless picks up a kill, gets himself a double. Illusion running away, has got the Zhonya's, but that's all he's going to get because Fnatic just muller the IG team, and it's going to be Fnatic that can just run through the base and take victory.
And that one binding from Yellowstar was all Fnatic needed to start the dive onto IG and win the game.
So as tanking out the turrets, the Nexuses will fall, and it's Fnatic that go through to the semi-finals. Would you believe it? They're facing Cloud9 again.
That's going to be such an epic match. Cloud9 have been looking so strong, and now Fnatic showed they can also play the early game and play the rotations, and they're coming into this game now with confidence.
Fantastic performance from Fnatic. They needed to win out that early game, and they